Kevin with Prickly Pear Camera here, and today we're going to be talking about the Sony DSC-W830 digital camera. Has a really nice Zeiss 8x optical zoom, a fairly large 2.7-inch LCD screen, a nice processing engine with a decent sized sensor for a camera of its size, 20 megapixel still images. Okay, so we're going to get right into a hands-on review of this camera. I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera on. The lens moves out, and I moved it all the way out to its max position there. I'm going to take a quick picture after I zoom in here with the flash on. If you tap that button gently and don't push in all the way, you'll get it to focus, and there's the final result. Accessing. Now in the bottom right corner you'll see that trash can. That's the delete button. That makes it really easy to delete the images whenever you see fit. And I deleted all the pictures off of the camera. Now I'm going to hit the menu button on the bottom right, and we're going to walk through the menu and go through a few mode options. You can see Intelligent Auto, Program Auto, and then a few more options. And then if you go down you can do Scene Selection, which also has options. You can see that it changed to night mode, which darkened pictures. A few more scene selection options. Scroll down. So easy mode is particularly handy if you're letting someone not familiar with the camera use the camera, or a kid or something of that nature. It really limits the overall functionality of the camera. It just basically makes it so you can take a picture, review the picture, and delete the picture, which I just did there. Okay, we're going to go back to menu and then exit the easy mode. Okay, we're going to go back to the menu to where we were at there. Few options for retouching pictures within the camera, which I wouldn't really recommend. You can, if you really would like to do that for photos or video, I would use some sort of additional software editor. Okay, rotating pictures, same thing. Okay, so I hit that menu option there to go into the settings, and walking through a few various settings include language as well as the display color. I'm going to go ahead and change it to pink. Language setting, there's quite a few language options depending on where this particular model comes from. This is a US model. If you see this model in other markets, then it may have different language options. Okay, go. Sorry, it took a while to get back to the menu there. Okay, so initialize is a thing you may end up using if you change some settings and you can't figure out how to get back to the stock settings of the camera. You can go up to initialize, hit OK, and it will basically do a system reset of the camera, which I'm doing right now. It will take you back to the very startup menu. You can change your time zone, as well as adjust the current date and time, which I'm going to roll all the way up to 2023, since that's what it is, January of 2023 when this video was recorded. Okay, again, if you wanted to change the display color, you can do so there. You can also change the display resolution, which only affects the camera, and it actually lessens the battery life of the camera, so I wouldn't recommend that. Okay, going back into the menu. Grid line, it's set to off whenever the camera is reset. Digital zoom, I generally set to off as well, as that just results in generally pixelated videos and still images taken. Write date, you can change to on and off if you'd like the date imprinted on each individual picture taken digitally. I'm going to scroll back down. various settings. I don't generally use those. Another format memory tool. There's a few options to get to format memory, as well as the clock setting again. So if you would like to change the clock setting without actually resetting the camera, you can do so there. Okay, so the toggle on the right is a toggle to movie mode and panorama mode. And in the movie mode, which is what we're looking at here, you have options to change white balance and some color scheme and patterns, steady shot if you're moving around a lot or if you're shooting any sort of action. It can be handy to use steady shot. Exposure. So if you would like, if it's really bright outside and you wanted to darken the video quality in the camera, you can do so there. Movie size as well. I believe it's preset to 720p fine, but you can adjust it as well. Movie shooting scenes, there's a few different options that you can adjust depending on the needs of your video shooting. I'm going to go ahead and power off the camera here, and that will wrap up the hands-on review. So after all that, should you buy the Sony DSC-W830? We're missing a critical piece of information, and that is the still image quality of the camera, which is what most people are probably going to use the camera for. The following pictures were taken on a winter's night in Arizona with a beautiful looming sunset. There's a lot of natural light coming in as the lens is pointed directly at the sun behind the clouds, yet the contrast is good. You don't get the washed out quality that quite a few other cameras at this price point will exhibit. Taken on the same day, also without the flash, this bench has quite deep reds, and the checkered blue pillow comes across quite vibrantly. Lastly, we have the prickly cactus with quite a few muted colors behind, and the camera in auto mode did a good job of reproducing colors. Now that we saw some of the actual photos that the Sony DSC-W830 is capable of shooting, is this camera a good buy in the year 2023? My answer is yes, and that's because you can find it on the secondary market in the United States on websites like eBay and Mercari for right around $100 normally, which given its video and still capabilities is a really solid deal. This camera has passed the Prickly Pear Cactus test and is rated as a solid buy if you can find it. Thank you for watching this review, and leave a like and consider subscribing for more camera related content. Thanks.